Okay, starting into the assembly, had that lag while I was building the parts, and I don't really think it was having all of the files open. I can go to Window, see everything that's open. We can come over to the SolidWorks Explorer, and it's still kind of thinking about but here's everything that's open. And then probably don't have the screen size, but if your screen is big enough, you can tile horizontally, which will show everything. That's always interesting, especially when the property manager feature tree is that big. So if we go vertically, they're probably going to look about the same with as many as are open. So let's go ahead and just go back to the single view. Oh, now we can just maximize one of them, and that'll bring it back. So, all right, we can get into our assembly. If you have a metric assembly, you can use it. If not, the inch. There's nothing really here that, as far as numbers, we're going to have to contend with, so should be okay. And to begin the assembly, it starts with the property manager going over to the begin. And we drew this in position, so when I place the slider base, should just be able to hit the check mark and hit OK. If not, then you will have to live with its position or right click and float and add the mates. So we'll do that as an example in the next set of videos. So we'll move this along by going to insert component, and I want to kind of cover each of these. So we had the driver pin, and that will go there. And already the origins are starting to annoy me, so I will turn the origins off. And we can go concentric and rotate over, pick the top face, rotate over, control select the bottom face, go coincident. All right, this is able to rotate because of the minus sign, so I can expand that out, then expand out the mates, right click and lock the rotation. If I was paying attention when I applied the mate, that could have we could have locked the rotation there. So we did insert components. That is the same as going to insert component existing part and assembly. Takes us back into pretty much the same interface. We need the driver wheel. And we'll go concentric. Now that kind of overlaps a little bit, so I'm going to left click, hold down, move that up. May still not be able to see that inside face, so there we go. Zoom up on it, zoom out a little bit using the scroll wheel, and then wait for the pop-up. And then this one we actually do want it to be able to turn, so we've got that in our process. So we've done those. If I come over here now to the SolidWorks Explorer, we need the drive pin. Oh, let's do a drag and drop. I was clicking on it and expecting it to do something and kind of missed there. So let's go ahead and make that concentric. And at the end of that row was the lock rotation. And I missed it again, so we will go that way. So the main thing here is that we'll still end up with the minus sign if on the concentric I lock this rotation, because the rotation, the logic behind the rotation is This can still turn, it just can't turn inside of that group. All right, so we need the arm. Let's see, next, let's find our way back to, oh, that's on my second screen with the drawing, so let's fly in Windows, get back to my folder, and we'll locate. So one of the advantages here is that if my preview window is on, then I can see, so it wasn't the shaft, it was the arm. So we'll drag that one in, and then I can move that back over. And we're going to go select, control select. So notice that on the fast video, I'm not, okay, so it was right there, but I didn't need it this time. So the 5mm, probably should check that dimension, or this is going to be able to float depending on where the shaft and the other piece aligns. So we'll leave that one to be decided. All right, so I want to take advantage, and also I just want to go ahead and close some of these since I'm still getting a little bit of a lag. So if I close the driver wheel, and if these haven't been saved recently, and I haven't saved the assembly, which is kind of a bad thing. If I have a crash or anything at this point, we'll lose the assembly. So let's go ahead and save, rebuild and save. And give it the slider, make sure it's in the correct folder. Okay, so the drive arm, and then I'm going to switch to the bridge. And one of the things I'd like to do with the bridge is introduce the reference geometry mate reference. So with a mate reference, when I drag and drop, there's a couple of drag and drop ways, but we can apply that edge, default mate any, and accept it. It adds a folder for the mate references, and we can save those. And then let's see. Well, I think I'm probably just going to want to close a few more of those so that we only end up with the two. And the slider is actually next. So, all right, let's see if that that tile vertically is looking a little bit better. All right, so the slider base we don't need. I can close that from there. And let's just do the window tile horizontally. No, I think the vertically was working better. All right, so if I drag from the window, I can drag from one piece of geometry to another piece of geometry, and that will provide a mate alignment. Because the mate reference is there, if I just bring it in, it will do the same thing, but we have to align. And one of the ways that we can figure out or keep track of these hole locations is to make those concentric as opposed to geometry. So if the dimension skews or something changes, it will error out, and that error is going to give us an indication that, well, did something we probably shouldn't have. Right, so if I control select and drag in another, and that mate reference comes in, because I can hover over that hole and get it into the next position. Where if I were to make this parallel or coincident, I might not get those those errors, this will kind of force the error check. So looking at this, I realized that I overlooked the radiuses, the 4mm radiuses in the corner. So if we go find the edit part, I can edit in context. Select Control, select the faces, find the fillet, and make sure that we're telling it that those are 4mm. And even though that part is not actively open in memory, it is, or actively open in the assembly, it is actively open in the in memory, to where I can see those components. All right, so that got the bridge in. So let's close it. We'll expand out. Maybe that will help speed up the response. So everything is closed except for that one. So now we're at that stage where pretty much pick your favorite, and either the insert components. Oh yeah, there is a right click. We'll do that on the next one. And apparently we jumped out of something there because it didn't go right back to my folder. Let's try the fall assignments. And this is going to be the driver shaft. So if I'd put a mate alignment on this, I could have hovered over the holes and it would have at least provided that initial mate. Okay, so concentric. And it's jumping out of there too quick before I can get, so I'm not sure what I'm telling it to do. And if I just go to the big list of mates, all the mates in the assembly, I can lock the rotation for the shaft that way. Could also find the shaft like the front plane or the top plane and make it parallel as far as the rotation goes. All right, so insert. If we go this way, oh, I said that there is the right mouse button, and nope, not seeing it there, so that must mean the S key, insert components, and we have the other options there. So let's go ahead and insert component, and we'll browse, and it launched for me. So we have the slider, and again would be interested in having the mate reference, so it just jumps in there. So this I'm just going to apply the concentric. We do not want to lock the rotation. Let's go for the pin. And select Control Select. Make sure that that's concentric. Let's see, as far as the depth, we could go from the top. And we could also use it to drive. So if I go concentric there, and then maybe we want that face coincident, and then we can check the depth. So since we didn't have the overall height, so that's barely in there. So the overall height on the inspection dimension for the bridge, if we go back into and locate that sketch, so maybe we'll look at that from the right view, Control 4 the left view. All right, that looks a little bit better. So if I go back into my sketch, we look for the inspection dimension, easy to identify with the obround around it. So let's see what 20 looks like. And we need to rebuild. So it updates the model. Well, that got a little closer. Okay, way too close. So one more adjustment, and we'll look at what 15 millimeters looks like. Well, maybe 16. And rebuild again. We'll go back into the solid. All right, so that's got decent engagement. That's all the way at the top of the pin. Really going to have to go back and check that dimension as well. But for our purposes, that completes the assembly. All right, so minor adjustments. We can see the rotation, sort of. Ah, nice movement there. So I did not finish applying. Or if I did, I applied a parallel. So let's go coincident there. Because I remember doing looking for the height. All right, so with the height being flush now, well, we got one more adjustment to make. So with that much engagement, let's go back to 12 millimeters. All right, so you can make that dimension whatever you want to look at the overall. I'll pull up the drawing again, see if I can figure out which way that's going to go. But I want to make this, we can have the dynamic, but I also want to make this to where it is static. So looking at the right plane and the right plane, we can make those parallel. And that gives us a position, maybe not the best position, but that remains to be seen. I can always go adjust that. And if I really don't want the minus sign there, we can go find one of the concentrics and lock the rotation and accept. All right, so to prepare for our drawing, we're going to try the auto spacing on the explode. So looking at the configuration, the exploded view, and we're going to kind of pick these in the order that I would expect them to explode. So kind of going back and forth here, and then it would be that one and that one. All right, so pretty ambitious to drag all these out at once. All right, so Control-7, make sure I have the isometric, and we'll pull that back in a little bit closer, 54 millimeters. Maybe we'll drop that back down to 40 and zoom up on it a little bit, see how that's looking. A little bit more spacing. Still doesn't look like it kicked that one out, but all right, there's a little bit of a gap there. So yeah, a little more spacing. So let's edit the feature. Double click on chain 1. And we'll try and eliminate some of those interferences or mean overlaps. All right, doesn't look like they're running into each other anymore. So we'll go ahead and save this, and we're ready to go into the drawing.